Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about Chapter 1 of Standard 10 Science CBSE book, that is Chemical Reactions and Equations. So what are chemical reactions? We can understand it through various examples that occur in our daily life. Like milk is left at room temperature during summers, and iron tawa, pan or nail is left exposed to humid temperature. Grapes are fermented, food is cooked, food gets digested in our body, and even the process of respiration is an example of a chemical reaction. So what actually happens when a chemical reaction takes place? In any of the cases that we have discussed before, the nature and the identity of the initial substance have somewhat changed. We can understand it in a better way by performing the following activity. The activity is of burning a magnesium ribbon in air. Note that teacher's guidance is necessary for performing this activity, and also we need to clean the magnesium ribbon using a sandpaper so that any extra layer that is formed on the ribbon gets removed. Okay, when magnesium ribbon is burnt in air in presence of oxygen, it turns into magnesium oxide. Here the initial substance was magnesium, and at the end of the reaction the product that we get is magnesium oxide. What happens when a chemical reaction takes place? We can know that a chemical reaction has taken place when the following things occur: change in state, change in color, evolution of a gas, or temperature variation shows that a chemical reaction has taken place. For example, when we put zinc granules in dilute sulfuric or hydrochloric acid, hydrogen gas is released and the temperature of the solution rises. Thus, due to these changes, we can say that a chemical reaction has taken place. So, what are chemical equations? Any chemical reaction is described in the form of a chemical equation. When a magnesium ribbon is burnt in air in the presence of oxygen, it gets converted to magnesium oxide. When any chemical reaction is written in sentence like we have written above, it becomes quite long. So to write it in a shorter form, we use word equation. The word equation for the above is magnesium plus oxygen gives us magnesium oxide. We need a better understanding of chemical equations. So here the equation we have considered is the same, that is magnesium plus oxygen gives us magnesium oxide. The substances that undergo chemical changes in the reaction are known as reactants. Here the reactants are magnesium and oxygen. The new substance that is formed due to the reaction is known as a product. Here the product formed is magnesium oxide. The word equation shows the change of reactants to products through an arrow between them. The reactants are written on the left hand side, that is LHS with a plus sign between them, and the products are written on the right hand side, that is RHS with a plus sign between them. The arrow that is present between the reactants and the products shows us the direction of the reaction. So how to write a chemical equation? Chemical equations can be made even more concise and useful if we use chemical formulas instead of words. The example of the chemical equation is given below. Mg plus O2 gives us MgO. In the above chemical equation, if we count the number of atoms of all elements on both the sides, we get to know that there is one atom of Mg and two atoms of oxygen on the left hand side and one atoms of magnesium and oxygen on the right hand side. Here we can see that number of atoms of all the elements are not same on both the sides, and so this type of chemical equation is known as a skeletal chemical equation or an unbalanced chemical equation. If the atoms of all elements are equal on both the sides of the chemical equation, then such chemical equation is known as a balanced chemical equation. And if we are provided with an equation which is not balanced, we need to balance it. So one might have a question that why we need to balance the chemical equation. The law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So if the equation is not balanced, then the above mentioned law will not be fulfilled. So to fulfill the requirement of the law, we need to balance the number of atoms of all the elements on both the sides by the use of hit and trial method for balancing. We should remember that mass of the reactants should be equal to the mass of products in any chemical reaction. We can check whether the chemical equation is balanced or not by making a table of all the elements present in the chemical equation. For example, Zn plus H2SO4 gives us ZnSO4 plus H2. In this reaction, all the elements that are present are written on one of the row of the table, that is zinc, hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen, and on the rows beside it we have written the number of atoms that are present of the elements on the left hand side and the right hand side. Here we can see that number of atoms on left hand side and right hand side are both equal. So this is a balanced equation. So how to balance the equation if it is not balanced? Here a step-by-step explanation is given. Step 1. To balance a chemical equation, first draw boxes around each formula. Do not change anything inside the box while balancing the equation. Here the equation is Fe plus H2O gives us Fe3O4 plus H2. In step 1 we just have to properly know that which are the main compounds that are present in the equation. In step 2, list the number of atoms of different element present in the unbalanced equation. In this step, we can get a clear idea which of the atoms are not balanced and which are balanced. Here we can see that Fe, that is iron and oxygen, are not balanced, and hydrogen, that has 2 atoms on both the sides, is a balanced one. In step 3, it is often convenient to start balancing with a compound that contains the maximum number of atoms. It may be a reactant or a product. In that compound, select the element which has maximum number of atoms. Using these criteria, we select Fe3O4 and the element oxygen in it. There are 4 oxygen atoms on the right hand side and only 1 on the left hand side. So now we have to balance the oxygen atoms. So we can see that on right hand side there are 4 and on the left hand side we have just 1 atom. So to balance it, we will multiply the compound on the left hand side with 4 so that the oxygen atoms get balanced. To equalize the number of atoms, it must be remembered that we cannot alter the formula of the compounds or elements involved in the reaction. For example, to balance oxygen, we can put coefficient 4 as 4H2O and not H2O4 or H2 whole 4. Now the partly balanced chemical equation becomes Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2. In step 4, Fe and H atoms are still not balanced. Pick any of these elements to proceed further. Let us balance hydrogen atoms in the partly balanced equation. To equalize the number of hydrogen atoms, make the number of molecules of hydrogen as 4 on the right hand side. Here we can see that there are just 2 atoms on the product side and 8 atoms on the reactant side. So to balance them, we will multiply 4 on the right hand side. So we will get equal number of hydrogen atoms on both the sides. The equation now would be Fe plus 4H2O gives us Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Step 5. Examine the above equation and pick up the third element which is not balanced. You will find that only one element is left to be balanced, that is iron. Now we can see that there are 3 atoms of iron, that is Fe3O4 on the product side and just 1 atom in the reactant side. So we will multiply 3 on the reactant side so that we can get equal number of iron atoms on both the sides. To equalize Fe, we take 3 atoms of Fe on the left hand side. So now the final equation becomes 3Fe plus 4H2 gives us Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Now the following equation has equal number of atoms of all elements on both the sides, and so it is a balanced equation. Step 6. Finally, to check the correctness of the balanced equation, we count atoms of each element on both the sides of the equation. 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2. The number of atoms of elements on both the sides of equation are equal. This equation is now balanced. The method of balancing chemical equation is called hit and trial method, as we can make trials to balance the equation by using the smallest whole number coefficient. In the final step, we have to write the symbols of the physical states. Carefully examine the above chemical equation. Does this equation tell us anything about the physical state of the reaction, reactants and the products? No information has been given in this equation about their physical states. To make a chemical equation more informative, the physical state of the reactants and products are mentioned along with their chemical formula. The gaseous, liquid, aqueous or solid states of the reactants or products are represented by the notations G, L, AQ and S respectively. The word aqueous is written if the reactant or product is present as a solution in water or in diluted form. Now the final equation becomes 3Fe solid plus 4H2O gas gives us Fe3O4 solid plus 4H2. Okay, so now we will conclude the lecture, and the conclusion is, in this video we have just gathered some information about the chemical reaction and its equation, and also learned how to balance the chemical equation. In the next video of this chapter, that is chemical reactions and equations part 2, we will discuss about the type of chemical equation in detail and some other phenomena such as corrosion and rancidity. Thank you.